of stepping inside the walls of an eating disorder clinic.
Our cameras follow their journey.
Here is where we eat 6 times a day. It's kind of like the death chamber.
After each meal, you're on 3-hour observations.
How does it feel to be monitored 24/7?
Inside a world you've never seen.
I sat there and ate like a disgusting hog.
I threw away the last 10 years of my life.
Think you're gonna be okay?
An all-new Tyra starts now.
The show you are about to see deals with some very serious and very sensitive subject matter for many women. During the taping of this show, 2 women got sick and fainted, and another 2 women were so upset that they had to leave the studio and go home. Viewer discretion is advised. Today, I am personally stepping inside a place that we have all heard about, but few have actually gone. I am literally stepping inside the walls of an eating disorder clinic, a place where patients are so protected that cameras are usually never allowed inside. And I wanted to know what really happens there. How are girls forced to eat? And how do they stop people from throwing up their food after they eat? I learned things about eating disorders and the people suffering from them that I never knew before. And today, I'm taking all that I've learned and I'm sharing it with you. And I know I work in an industry that feeds America's obsession with skinny. And that's why I feel it's important to do my part in redirecting the focus on what society traditionally upholds as beautiful. And that's why on my other show, America's Next Top Model, I'm having 2 full-figured models on this present cycle. And on the Tyra Show, I will continue to share the stories of the thousands of women who are nearly starving themselves to death. For some of them, their only chance of survival is entering an eating disorder clinic.
It's a disease that has caused a 27-year-old to have osteoporosis, to have heart failure.
Lori, anorexic, mother of 2. One of our most talked about guests. She weighed 75 pounds when she came on our show. Since her appearance only 4 weeks ago, she has lost 5 pounds and is down to a startling 70 pounds.
I was purging and I started vomiting blood. I was really scared.
Chelsea, she's been in rehab 3 times for bulimia.
As easy as leaning over and just contracting my stomach.
Jenny, struggling with bulimia for years. Eating disorders have become a nationwide epidemic. 25 million people in this country are binge eaters. 1 in 5 people afflicted with anorexia will die from this illness.
My lowest point was being in the emergency room after I had overdosed and tried to kill myself.
It is out of my control. It controls me.
I feel like there's no hope and I'm never going to recover and it's never going to get any better.
I'm going to have the fight of my life before me.
Angela, battling bulimia for 9 years.
Started making myself throw up when I was about 17 or 18. I used to tell myself I can stop whenever I want to. I can stop whenever I want to. And then after I'd eat, I had to. I'd purge.
These are the women I will be visiting behind the walls of an eating disorder facility. They've been cheating death for too long. This is their only hope for survival.
When I throw up, I go into the bathroom, usually have some water running, close the door, lock the door, and I stick my finger down my throat and I throw up everything, and I throw up everything to the point where I break blood vessels in my face. That's my way of making sure that I'm not gonna gain weight. I'm very good at hiding it. Some people don't even know that I have it. My best friends don't know.
Angela's cycle of binging and purging has affected the lives of those she loves the most. Her children.
I'm so afraid of losing them. I'm afraid of losing my children because this is a serious disease. I've already had several medical problems, ulcers, and I could die. I could die from bulimia. It's gonna kill me. I don't want that. I don't want to die. I want to be there for my kids.
Angela was one of the thousands of women who emailed my show in a desperate plea for help. And she was afraid this disease was going to kill her. So we stepped in and we convinced her to get some help. We reached out to Ocean Air, which is an inpatient eating disorder clinic where Angela agreed to stay for the next couple of months. But she told us she didn't have the strength to do it on her own. So I personally went to get her, and I took her there myself. When I arrived at Angela's home, I had absolutely no idea what to expect. Was Angela truly ready to get the help that she so desperately needed? Are you Angela? Hi, Angela. Are you scared? You're scared? Your family is here. Everybody's here to send you off. Can I meet your family?
These are my 4 kids.
Do you know where your mommy's going today? Mommy's going to get better. What is your biggest fear right now?
Being away and actually getting better. I don't want to live like this anymore. I don't want to. I want to get better.
You want to get better? I want to get better for your babies too, right? Yeah. You ready to say goodbye? Okay, I'm gonna step back where you can say goodbye, okay?
Okay.
I know this is the hardest thing in the world to do, huh? It's so hard. But like, you are such a good example to women that are going through this, that are scared to get treatment, scared to take care of themselves, feeling like treatment is gonna make them gain all this weight, and that's your biggest fear, isn't it?
It's gonna get you healthy.
Is that your biggest fear? Gaining weight?
Yes.
Yeah. But there's so many ways to stay healthy and to exercise and to be fit and to look great and to look in the mirror and feel great without sticking your finger down your throat. You know, that's the easy way out. That's funny, you hear that siren right now?
It could be me.
It could be you, but it's not. Okay, come on.
It was time for Angela to begin her journey to Ocean Air. A journey that could ultimately save her life. She's a good girl. When we come back, we'll hear from Angela's family. We'll be right back. Up next, a ride to save her life.
What's going through your head right now as we head to the clinic?
I'm scared.
I personally take Angela through the doors of an eating disorder facility.
I'm speechless. I don't know.
Yeah, you look like you're getting weak.
And later, she was only 75 pounds when she was previously on our show. Now she weighs only 70 pounds. An update on her struggle to stay alive.
It is the scariest day of my life. The day that I hoped wouldn't have to come. I thought I could live forever like this.
The funniest cops on TV have Tyra under house arrest. What did you do? And the ladies of Reno 911 are booking themselves for a sexy makeover. Plus, Nikki Taylor's difficult road back.
How many surgeries have you had?
All new Tyra.
Just 2 weeks ago, 25-year-old Angela confronted her 9-year battle with bulimia. As she shared an emotional goodbye with her 4 young children, Angela was taking the first courageous step towards saving her life. After Angela's emotional goodbye to her family, we headed to Ocean Air, a residential eating disorder treatment facility in Rancho Palos Verdes, California. And it was a ride in a car that I will never forget. On the way to Oceanair, Angela poured her heart out to me.
What's going through your head right now as we head to the clinic?
I'm scared.
And I know in the house, I asked you, were you scared to gain weight? And you said, yeah. Do you think that's even scarier than leaving your kids for a month? You don't have to say the right answer. You can just say the real answer.
Yes.
Yeah. Why do you think you're so afraid to gain weight?
I've just been teased on my whole life.
You weighed a lot more when you were younger?
Right. And I weighed 180, close to 190 when I was probably 11, 12. And as I grew older, some of the baby fat went away, but I was still being teased by my family and by friends and just classmates. I just figured that I had to do something in order to fit in and be accepted.
Tell me about the first time you threw up.
The first time I threw up, so I went in the bathroom and I turned on the water so nobody could hear.
At home?
Yes. And I did it and I felt better. I felt like I had eaten, but I didn't.
How long did it take you to do it again?
I was doing it the very next day.
The very next day?
The very next day. I guess it's a way of relieving all of the anger and all of the hurt. All of the hurt that I've ever had in my life. And now I just feel like everybody, I guess it's just everybody else does it to me. Why don't I do it to myself?
Why don't you hurt yourself? Because everybody else has hurt you. And so when you stick your finger down your throat and you throw up, you know you're hurting yourself? Do you still feel fat?
Yes.
You still feel fat?
Yes.
Even this little skinny thigh I'm looking at right now, you feel that's fat?
That is not skinny, and yes, I still feel fat.
I know you said that you came to a taping of the Tyra show once, and you were in the audience.
Right.
And you were watching me on stage. And what were you thinking when you were watching me on stage?
I was thinking how I wanted to be like you. I wanted to be tall and thin. Right now, I don't feel like I'm at a good size. I ultimately want to be a 0.
You want to be a size 0.
Right.
But you said that you were looking at me on the stage and looking at my body and thinking that I was thin. But like, I'm a size 8, sometimes a size 10. And you're skinnier than me, much thinner than me. But you don't see that?
No.
You don't see that my thigh is bigger than your thigh?
No.
Really?
No, because I definitely feel a lot more fat than you do.
Do you understand that you'll never feel skinny enough if you don't get help? Even if you were a size 00? Do you know that? That if you don't get help, you'll never be skinny enough.
I've heard that, and I just ultimately want to be a size 0.
Does any of your kids are very young? I met all of them when they're really young, but do any of them know that mommy has a really serious problem?
My oldest daughter is very smart, and she'll wait for me by the door, by the bathroom door, and I turn on the water so she can't hear, but she's waiting right there by the door.
She knows.
She knows, and I've noticed that she's also complaining about how she feels that she's fat too, and I don't want her to be like this. I don't want her to fall into what I have done.
What if you didn't get help and you raised your daughter and she knows mommy goes to the bathroom and mommy throws up, and one day you walk past that bathroom and you hear water running and you open the door and you see your daughter leaned over that toilet and she's thrown up? That's the worst one.
Because I taught her it. She learned from me and she thinks it's okay.
With me now are Angela's mother and father, Victor and Marianne. And also joining me is Angela's 8-year-old daughter, Faith. And during the tape, I took Faith backstage and we played a little game, didn't we? So we didn't hear everything that was going on. You all were there the day that I came to get your daughter and to get your mama. I want to ask this to Victor and Marianne. What is it like seeing your daughter like that in the car with me? I don't know if you've ever had that conversation with her. So Victor, what was it like hearing those words?
Well, it was very revealing, and it was good to see her open up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've tried to talk to her, but you know, as a parent, you can only go so far with your child before they put up the block and the barriers.
Did you know the severity of her eating disorder? Did you know how bad it was?
No, she never told us very much, but we knew something was up. And I think she's doing it for her kids, and she wants to be around for them, and she wants to feel good for herself.
The one thing about bulimics is you can't necessarily tell. With anorexics, when it gets really, really bad, you see the bones, you see the, you know, everything sticking out. There's a lot of symptoms. But with bulimics, it's very isolating because they can hide. They don't necessarily get very, very skinny. What do you miss the most about your mommy now that she's away now?
I miss her hugs and her kisses.
You miss her hugs?
And her kisses, and I miss her being there for me.
Her hugs and her kisses and being there for you. Where she's getting better, and when she comes back, she's going to give you even more hugs and more kisses. Because I took your mommy to a really, really special place, and they're taking really, really good care of her. And when we go back inside, we're going to see inside the clinic that's saving Faith's mama's life, Angela's life. We'll be right back.
Still to come, Angela's fear of facing food, her struggle to take her first bite inside the eating disorder facility.
I'm feeling very tense. I don't want to eat it.
Later, an anorexic's fight for her life as we take her for help to an eating disorder facility.
How are you feeling?
Not very good. I'm ready to go home, and I just got here.
Next, all new Tyra. The funniest cops on TV have Tyra under house arrest.
What did you get? That's my hair we tracked.
And the ladies of Reno 911 are booking themselves for a sexy makeover.
Come on out, deputy.
Plus, super hot supermodel Nikki Taylor and her difficult road back.
How many surgeries have you had?
More than 80.
Next, all new Tyra.
Today, I'm personally stepping inside the walls of an eating disorder clinic and showing all of you, through my very own eyes, an exclusive look at this last best hope for many desperate women. Just a few weeks ago, I personally picked up Angela at her apartment and escorted her to a treatment facility so that she can finally get the help that she so desperately needed.
At our arrival at Oceanair, Angela and I began to get familiarized with her new home. I think it's that window right there that you're in. I think we drop off the luggage here. We were greeted by Berta, the director of Oceanair.
It doesn't look like a hospital.
No, it does not. These beds look so comforting and like warm and just, it looks really nice.
And it's a really nice place to relax and meditate and really start to find yourself again.
I can tell you're nervous, your shoulders are open.
By the end of the day, they'll be at least halfway down. I have your luggage in here because we search the luggage because a lot of times people have trouble with bringing in food, diet food, things like sweet and low, ephedra, any other kind of speed.
How does it feel with her saying that they don't allow any type of diet food, no sugar substitutes, no nothing?
It worries me. I'm scared. Gaining weight.
You have to hand over all that trust to people that you don't know.
How do you stop the girls from bleeding and going to throw up?
We watch them all the time. After each meal, you're on 3-hour observations.
No more sneaking away.
I'm speechless. I don't know.
Yeah, you look like you're getting weak.
After I left Angela To tour the facility, one of their staff, April, came in for Angela's luggage check.
Now we're going to go through your belongings to just check to make sure you have no contraband. Do you have any razors or tweezers or anything like that?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll have to lock those up.
Okay.
And you just request them whenever you need to use them.
Angela next met with Suzanne, the facility's nurse.
Hi, Angela. I'm Suzanne. Let's go this way. We go into what we call blue room. Okay?
Suzanne will weigh Angela, one of the hardest things an anorexic or bulimic has to endure.
Just slip your shoes off. To get your weight, I need you to get a gown on. I'm going to have you step on the scale with your back to the wall. Okay?
We talked to Halle, who will be Angela's therapist during her stay at Ocean Air.
The goal for the patients to know is for them to know that they have control over their eating and they have control over their lives. And hopefully this is something they're going to walk out with and get a sense of their own identity as individuals, not somebody with an eating disorder.
While I was at the treatment center helping Angela get checked in, I met another patient, a young girl named Chelsea, who was assigned as my tour guide for the day.
I started talking to Chelsea. This was her third time at Ocean Air.
Did you check yourself in here, or did you have an intervention and somebody placed you here?
I actually was in the hospital, in psych hospital, before coming here. I had a suicide attempt previously, and I was having really strong suicidal ideations. So while I was in the hospital, my psychiatrist recommended
that I
come here.
Why do you think you were suicidal?
Well, depression is really big in eating disorders. So there was that, and I was also just so distressed with dealing with this for so long.
I wanted to see how the girls live day to day.
I feel like I am visiting a friend right now.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Front door of a house.
Yeah, and we have Ocean Air. It's really nice that it's so homey. This is just kind of the outside area, ping pong table. It's been cold lately, so we haven't done a whole lot of outside activities. I like sitting out here, reading, journaling, whatever. It's really nice. Well, here is where we eat 6 times a day. It's kind of like when you first get here, the death chamber.
I was just about to say, this probably, when you first get here, represents, like, cue the horror music.
Yeah, it really is. It's really difficult, and especially because we do 3 meals and 3 snacks a day.
So you sit and have your snacks as well, not like a snack you walk around.
Yeah, right. Well, they want to teach us mindful eating to be in tune with what you're eating. So here's the kitchen. Bobby prepares our meals, and the program's kind of like a graduated program. When you first get here, you're not really involved in any of the cooking or anything. The staff makes all the meals and snacks, but then as you progress in the program, you begin to prepare your own snacks, your breakfast.
So they teach you how to make it.
Mm-hmm.
So that when
Well,
you get
just
home,
learning.
you can learn how to do it
Right,
yourself.
yeah.
How does it feel to be monitored 24/7?
When you first get here, you're on, we call them OBS. OBS, like observation.
Okay.
So you have to go and get a staff member and ask if you can use the bathroom, and they'll just stand outside the door, just cracked, so you do have some privacy. And then when you're done, they check the toilet, make sure you haven't purged or anything. Or
So you can't even flush.
Right.
Even number 2.
Right.
Can't flush number 2.
Nope. And if you're on your period, if whatever.
They see all of it.
They see everything.
It's funny, with me looking at you, I see a beautiful, young, healthy girl that's giving this tour of this place and in control and in charge, and I can't imagine you purging.
Well, that's the thing with eating disorders. People can't usually tell. Actually, I'm doing really well right now. I feel like I'm actually making some progress in recovery for the first time, and I know it's not easy, but I'm able to look at it that it's not easy and still be able to keep going.
Well, I wish you luck.
Well, thank you.
I see brightness in the
Thank
face.
you. Thank you.
Good luck, Chelsea. We'll be right back.
Up next, Angela struggles to eat her first bite.
Do you normally eat?
No.
Today I'm stepping inside the walls of a place that we have all heard about before, but few of us have actually gone to. I'm stepping inside the walls of an eating disorder clinic. And just a few weeks ago, I accompanied 25-year-old Angela to Ocean Air, an exclusive eating disorder clinic in Southern California. And while I was there, I met a young woman named Jenny, who had a very tough exterior, but she was silently struggling with bulimia for the past 10 years.
There's a lot of emphasis right now with Hollywood, with people in the industry being too thin or gaining weight and putting a lot of emphasis on that, and people reporting on that, people like with your job reporting on that.
I asked Jenny about her job as a freelance tabloid magazine journalist.
You feel like a hypocrite. It's not just the magazines. I feel more strongly against the fashion industry, and I blame them.
But to me, what the tabloids are saying is, be skinny, almost to where you look sick, but not too sick. And that's okay.
But I watch your show, America's Top Model, and what are you telling them? They're too fat, or they're not?
I don't tell the girls that.
The girls that are on your show are all very thin.
No, they're not. No, they're not. That's my struggle with America's Next Top Model. You know, everybody wants to point the finger at everybody else. So you're a journalist, or you're saying, oh, it's fashion, or it's America's Next Top Model. I take responsibility and struggle every day with having a show that is about modeling. And some girls are skinny, some girls are curvy, some girls are full-figured on my show. I cover the spectrum. I feel it's everything, and not about pointing the finger and saying, oh, one's worse than the other. I'm taking responsibility. I'm pointing the finger at myself, Jenny. I'm saying, I have something to do with this. I have something to do with beautiful young women like you that are in a facility like this. And I take responsibility for that. And I'm trying to figure out what I can do to do on my part so that women like you don't suffer. Do you feel conflicted?
Yeah, I feel conflicted, as I would if I was a model or if I was an actress. The magazines, if you read them, you think if you have nice clothes, then you're slim, then maybe you'll be happy. If you watch films, then you think famous, rich, successful people have to be slim and beautiful. Mm-hmm. Celebrities come to rely too much, not on character or personal achievement, mm-hmm. but on looks and image and what clothes you're wearing. And most of the celebrities I've met are, aside from their looks, nothing extraordinary. Mm-hmm. And so the only thing that gives them their money and their power and their wealth seems to be their beautiful image. And it's the whole popular culture, it's everything, it's not just the tabloids. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't sell if they weren't providing something that readers have come to want, mm-hmm. which is the fantasy. And then some girls take it to the extreme of believing that they can achieve that fantasy. Mm-hmm.
Do you have a rage inside? Like I sense like kind of like an anger.
Yeah, I'm angry. I'm angry that I threw away the last 10 years of my life.
What do you think gives you your strength?
Right now, I don't feel like I have any strength. This is why I'm in here. I'm not well enough to live on my own and manage what I eat without making myself sick. I don't have anything. I feel so ashamed of it, mm-hmm. and it robs me of my liveliness and my energy, and regretting the last decade of your life is like kind of a hard thing to admit.
As we've seen, there are many challenges these women face in order to get well. And to most of us, the first step is something that seems so simple. But for Angela, that first step is the most painful task imaginable.
While I was interviewing Jenny, Angela was preparing to have her first bite of food at Ocean Air, watched over by Berta. Angela's anxiety visibly rises as she stares at the food in front of her.
I'm feeling very tense. I don't want to. I don't want to eat it.
When the girls enter the facility, they're asked to list the foods they will not eat. Fish was not on Angela's list. Clearly, Angela will grasp for any reason not to take a bite.
Yeah, I don't really like fish, though.
What's wrong with the fish? How come it suddenly came up?
No, I normally don't eat fish.
Mm-hmm. Do you normally eat?
No.
really hard to, I guess, force myself to eat when I'm not used to it. And then to have to keep it down and have someone watch me. It's gonna be very, very hard.
After finding out more about these women and their trials and tribulations, my last stop was to say goodbye to Angela.
I'm gonna have to leave now. Think you're gonna be okay? Yeah. I should. You're scared, huh? Yeah. I'm scared. But this place is so safe. And there's gonna be people here that are going through exactly what you're going through. I know you said you felt alone and lonely with this. You're gonna be able to talk to people that, like, oh my God, you too? Oh my God. For the first time. And you're gonna get better. Have a healthy relationship with food and be a better mom. Already a great mom, but a better mom. Okay? And I'm gonna send you some letters too, okay? Just some encouragement and some words while you're here. Okay. Okay? You gonna write me back? Yes. Okay, you better write me back. Okay. Give me a hug. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
It's been about a week since I last saw Angela, and like I promised her, I wrote her a letter, which is the first of many that I'll be writing her. Victor, you just visited her.
Yes.
I didn't even know that they allow visitors so soon. How's she doing now?
Well, surprisingly, I think we saw a face of determination in her. She seems very grateful, and we're certainly grateful. And I think she's going to take full advantage of the opportunities that she's going to have there to get well.
Good. All right, Angela, I didn't get my letter back yet, though. You said you were going to write me back. I'm waiting. Snail mail, not email. I want to see you write it out. All right? I'll be right back.